Now, as Ryan, Trenton, and Sean grab your attention towards the world of sports, food, and entertainment, and away from the things that are probably more important, we apologize for nothing and anything that may be spoken, learned, or forgotten today. This is the Real Tree Shaker Show.
Hello, and welcome to the Real Tree Shaker Show. I had to get loud for this one because it is our 1 year show. Yes, I'm Ryan.
What's that? What's going on here?
Yes.
I put in an earplug knowing that you were gonna yell like that and put my headphone in too. So, and I'm 1 year old. I'm 1 year old Trenton. How you doing?
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm Sean, and I don't know what else to say. But yes, welcome to this newest edition of the RTS show. It is officially Season 2, Episode 1 for us. So congratulations to us.
Yes.
We can't believe it.
I know.
Yeah, we didn't cancel ourselves. It's awesome.
True.
Yep.
Always a good thing.
Yep. Still not making shit doing it, but you know, hey, it's been really fun.
No, not at all.
We do have fun.
That is for sure. But hey, can't, rush this thing, I guess. And we don't have the star power names yet to get our podcast growing even more, But
Right.
hey, stick to it. And it's just going to get better. Trust me. In the next
It's
couple
still
months,
our favorite day of the week, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, heading into Season 2, let's start off, guys, with a couple of weird facts that happened today. In 1983, do you guys remember the George Brett home run that was disallowed?
Yes. For Pine Tar on the bat.
Pine tar on the bat. Yep. They came storming out of the dugout. No doubt.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best player reactions to something that did not go their way in history.
Yes. For sure.
All right. Also in 2005 today, this infamous cyclist named Lance Armstrong retires after he won his 7th straight Tour de France.
Cheater.
Yep.
Tour de France.
Which were all taken away in 2012. So,
yeah.
moron.
Sucks.
Anyways, and can you guys name the number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 list?
In 2005?
Right now?
1982.
Oh, 1982.
Oh, in 1982.
Ooh.
It's
It's got to be a Michael Jackson song. Be my guess.
I will not give
867-5309.
No. Jenny does not have your number.
Damn. Okay, you got to give us a hint.
Okay, It is tied into one of the greatest sports movies of all time.
82.
82 sports stuff.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, you gotta be on
Okay,
that.
I know. I got a lot of
Hoosiers is from the 70s, right? But I couldn't tell you.
No, it's from 86.
Oh, okay. I still couldn't tell you a single
But
song off
it didn't really have. It was just an instrumental soundtrack.
Yeah. 82.
Ooh, I got you
Breaking?
guys.
No, wait, that's.
Next.
You remember the movie Breaking?
No, I remember the show Breaking Bad, but
There was a movie called Breaking.
I remember
about breakdancing.
Yeah, I remember it. I couldn't tell you like who was in it.
I got you guys on this one.
I know.
Okay, the
one more
band's
hint.
The band's name is Survivor.
Oh, I the Tiger. Damn it.
Yes.
Oh, Rocky. Yeah, I just watched it the other day too.
The first one.
Damn it.
Womp.
Ooh,
Yes,
I got you guys on that
It
one.
was Rocky 3.
Well, I mean, our parents were probably rocking to that.
Right.
I was 3, so I mean, I don't remember. I might have been jamming to it. I don't know.
I probably was,
Maybe.
but don't remember. Sure, my dad
I
was
think my
watching
dad
it.
had the record.
Yeah.
So.
I think my dad did too, actually.
But, yeah.
That old stereo that he that's a fan.
Yep.
I
I definitely got my rock from my dad because my mom was into like Neil Diamond and Anne Murray. So
there you go.
Diamond.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah,
that was my mom. Country music, and that was about it.
Ooh, see, I just naturally got exposed to country music. But anyways, guys, it is almost the end of July, and we're about to hit August. But let's talk basketball, even though the season is over. As today, the NBA has reached an 11-year deal with Amazon, Comcast, basically NBC, and ESPN. $77 billion deal. So, yeah,
crazy.
Man,
all right,
crazy.
So give me your biggest. Do you think it'll make the game more popular because the ratings were down? And what are your thoughts on TNT's broadcast team going away?
that's to me that's a bummer. Like that, I thought that was one of the better pre-game, post-game shows that was out there. I mean, it's not like I watched basketball like say every single game or every time it was on and stuff like that. But like, there's a lot of times where I'd be bored and I would definitely flip to them just for pure straight up entertainment. And yeah, I think it's kind of a bummer. It would be hopefully they carry over to a different. I don't know if they'll move to Amazon or if that team will. I'm not too sure how all that's going to work out, but it'd be really cool if they continue to keep doing what they do. Because I just don't. I personally do not see um another set of like I wouldn't say another like four guys coming in and being that entertaining. I just don't. I just simply don't. And yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I mean, it's good for the NBA, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy for the exposure and everything that's going to provide, hopefully. Um, but man, that was a great Inside the NBA was great. That was absolutely great, and it's been on forever too. I mean, I can't. Do you know the first year was it like '97 or something like that?
Yeah, 96. I believe was 96.
It was just Ernie Johnson.
We were in high school, man.
Yeah, we were in high school.
I know, right?
High school.
I know it was just Ernie and like I don't remember. I don't remember exactly who it was. Maybe was it Chuck?
I think Kenny was the first one to join. I think it was Kenny because he had already retired in like '93 or after the Rockets' second title.
Yeah, that's right.
Kenny Smith had retired. So
I know they were sitting like a really small desk, like looked like it was kind of like not necessarily an office, but an office room.
Yeah.
But like it's like a smaller thing like that. So I do remember all that, but man, that's a bummer. It's a bummer. I mean, if they don't bring the show back, I think that's absolutely a bummer. But
yeah,
I mean, good for the NBA though. I understand what why and what they're doing. It's just I don't know. I don't like I like some people from the ESPN crew in a way, but now that JJ's a coach, I don't know if Grant Hill's still going to be on there. Like I don't know. There was some good stuff, but now it's just like who's going to replace some of these people, and I don't know. I do like the fact that it's back on NBC because NBC is what I remember basketball being on back in the day and stuff like that.
Sunday.
So that's pretty cool. But man, it's kind of I don't know. I'm pretty bummed to see Shaq, Chuck, and Kenny go if they do. So
yeah, it's a hell of a bummer, man. And just I get it. They feel Amazon's the new toy, and that I think that's why. Even though I heard Warner Brothers matched, but they just went with Amazon because I think they feel it's the future. But I don't know if I was Amazon, I would reach out to those dudes right now and say, look, you got home with us because Amazon needs help. They kind of fumbled a little bit with their NFL coverage. I thought it wasn't as good. It didn't come across as smooth. So why not get guys that have been doing it for 25 plus years and get those guys on the show, and just transfer it over. It's all you got to do because I think your audience is already going to drop a little bit when it goes to Amazon. Just it's not everybody's going to subscribe to it, and you're going to have an issue, So we'll see how it goes. NBC, like T said, I'm happy too. I grew up on that too with them having the weekend games, so definitely happy about that. ESPN, I'm kind of I don't really watch ESPN for the pre-show or post-show. It's lacking. The halftime show, it sucks.
Yep.
You know, I saw they got criticized quite a bit because they show like they talk for 30 seconds, show a highlight, and that's it. And then it's 10 minutes of commercials and other crap. So it's like, where's the halftime show? It's not much. So I could really care less about them still having it unless they're going to revamp things, which I hope they do. But we'll see. It's just sad day if they don't get to continue their run, because I know people that watch that and don't watch the game.
Yeah.
They just watch the
Exactly.
pre-show and halftime show and post-show, and they don't care about the game. So I think that should tell you something right there, that you gotta continue those guys, and hopefully Amazon does that.
Yeah, I agree. And you would think there's a lot more NBA games, so I think you should bring in an experienced, group,
Sure,
and then
sure,
even if it's like a 2-3 year deal and you just figuring it out, pay those guys hefty enough to where they
sure,
probably retire after the contract's up
sure.
anyways. But
Right.
I mean, it helps. The WNBA starting, all this stuff starts in 2025, and in 2026, the WNBA regular season and postseason games will be included on the Prime package too. So the women are getting, because their deal is part of the not as big, but
Yeah.
they got a nice little chunk to help them out. So
But their ratings
2.2.
have increased this year, so they
Yeah.
have showed. I mean, we can all say why, but
Yeah. Well,
it's
all
pretty
right.
wild.
So since guys at TNT, we love you. We'll miss you for sure. But
Yes, we will.
Amazon, don't be dumbasses. But
Yes.
let's stay on the WNBA. And Ryan, you're the correspondent reporter. What do you got for us?
Mhm.
Well, I mean, y'all did see that the WNBA All-Stars beat Team USA.
Yeah.
Don't know if y'all saw that. I think they won 117 to 109.
That is correct.
So that was awesome. Love to see that. I was like, yeah, great job of picking the Team USA. But definitely like to see that. WNBA, like I said, their media deal's been great. We'll see what they do with it. It's a nice chunk of change, and I'm sure those ladies are going to get some raises based on that, I'm sure. So I would hope, but
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, things are looking up. I don't know who's going to get rookie a year. Kaylin Clark. I mean, it's between two, I think, Kaylin Clark and why am I forget Angel Reese.
Angel Reese, her rival.
But yeah, it's that's going to be a fun thing to see. And Kaylin Clark, I know their team's pushing for a playoff spot, or they've been winning a few here and there, so should be a interesting finish. Yeah, they are. They're turning up. They're gelling a little bit. So we'll see. I mean, the effect is real. So
yeah,
we'll have to see.
I mean, okay, so does that mean that Reese or Clark should be on the Olympic team?
Oh, easily.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, they're.
I don't think it would
right?
hurt. I don't think it would hurt anything, but I mean, I guess I kind of see the argument to why they weren't there, being rookies and not having some experience. But I think maybe the WNBA is falling a little bit behind as far as what they have coming up, and they don't know. I mean, like I said, Clark and Reese, I mean, they have all the talent in the world. So it's like where they trying to be safe or play safe. Like, let's take some veterans and make sure we're good on that versus taking some risks and things like that. But I think that this day and age, I think you have to take those risks.
Yeah, for sure.
Honor the old guard.
What's that?
I guess are they honoring the old guard of the league or something? But I mean the objective is to win with,
Yeah, you win with the best players.
Clark's leading the league in assists. I mean, she's getting better and better, but
Angel Reese is getting a double every game, basically.
Yeah, she had a double in the All-Star game.
She's doing that every game. I mean,
like her or not, I mean, she's really good. And the ratings keep going up, and it's awesome. And those ladies definitely deserved to be more highly compensated. Let's say.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt that.
But it's now there's no WNBA until like August, so it'll be watch Clark come, and all these rookies will probably be refreshed and ready to go because they're they go straight from college to the draft, and then boom,
they had like 2 months,
starts.
2 months in between the end of the year to the season.
So maybe it's a good thing that Clark's not playing the Olympics, so she can refresh and focus on her task at hand to get the Fever into the playoffs. But let's stay on that Olympic as our best Olympic men's team continues to struggle, and I know that these are scrimmages. And on Sunday against Serbia, we'll see how good this team really is. But I mean, guys, a 43.5 point favorite over South Sudan, and they win by 1.
Yeah.
So, and then they struggle against Germany the other day too. So what are we missing? Is this team just not had enough time to gel, to get used to each other? But these guys are all pros, and we're depending on LeBron, who's 39, So Mr. LeBron fan club.
Yeah.
What's up?
Man, I mean, it's disappointing to see, them struggling. I don't think they're gelling well. They're playing terrible defense. These unknown dudes
not playing defense at all.
Yeah, no, they're none of them are. They're trying to just make it of who can score the most buckets, and I just don't get it. I think the way of the NBA is catching up to these guys, so it's an issue for sure, and we'll see, man. I'm not very confident in them winning a gold. I just don't know. I don't know. I mean,
do they make even to the gold medal game, or do you think that they just implode early?
I mean, they have to be the favorites, but when it was probably like a heavy favorite, now it's like a slight favorite. They might not.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I'm going to temper what I expect from them. So
yeah, I was going to say at what we've seen so far, and we clearly all know like that. I mean, Tatum, Holiday, James, Durant, like just name all those. Curry, you name all those guys. Like how? I mean, they're. I mean, that's the top 10 of the NBA to a certain. I mean, to a certain point. I wouldn't say all those guys, but you have what 5 or 6 of the top 10 of the NBA on your team, and you've really asked a 40-year-old. Don't get me wrong. I mean, LeBron has been a beast. I mean, his whole entire career. But I mean, a 40-year-old dude, you're asking him to come back against South Sudan and get a last second layup, and then on top of that, they should have lost the game since Edwards definitely fouled that guy. So, I mean, as much as we all know how talented this team is, at least in my eyes, it's worrisome, or it's bothersome. Let's just say that, because it's like you want them to go win gold, you expect them to go and dominate and just do what they've, I guess, have done in the past or anything like that. But maybe that's on us though. Like maybe we're putting too much faith into something when the rest of the NBA, like we've talked about in the world, has evolved into there's a much more talent across all these other teams now. And a lot of these teams still have NBA players. They might not be the LeBrons and the Currys, but at the same time, there's a reason they're in the NBA. And
true.
I'm not going to compare soccer to basketball, but as far as across the seas, I think that I'm not saying that people that play for America or are representing America or the U.S. That they don't have passion, but it's like, I mean, look at did you see the Morocco game today? or
Yeah.
and it's like those fans
Night and day.
you know what I mean? It's exactly. It's night and day to me. And so I mean, again, we should be the favorite and we should go dominate. But now that I think now that a lot of the uh, players and the league itself have changed and evolved into a different thing. And I think right now that's what we're experiencing. I think we've seen glimpses of it before in the past with the Olympic and other cups and things like that. But right now, this day and age, I think we're seeing the turn of where it's not just it's not just a U.S. basketball team. It's not just like, oh yeah, they're going to go out there and win by 50, and they're just not going to do that anymore. Now,
Yeah.
if they go and do so, props to them and the way they probably should. But I do not think that we see that in this particular Olympics. You might see one, maybe two, but if South Sudan is giving us a hard, I mean, I don't even know a single player on that team.
Man, they played their arse off.
Right? I mean,
that was a fun game to watch. I mean, I didn't watch all of it, but I caught the fourth quarter. And those guys were playing hard, man. I mean, they were the youngest team in the Olympic competition, and they've only been a country independently for 14 years. So shout out to Luau Deng. And did you hear that they said they're just now building their first indoor basketball facility in the country? So everything these guys have done have been on the playground. So, I mean, this is like playing in the spear for them. So, I mean, they get U.S. team has Serbia on Sunday, and then a few days later, it's the rematch against South Sudan.
Now,
So,
are those games going to count, or are we still in exhibition?
Sunday is go time.
Sunday's go time. Okay.
Serbia, South Sudan, and then Puerto Rico.
So Germany was the last warm-up game. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe it's one of those things when it's go time. They'll look at it as like playoff basketball. You know how they always say like playoff Jimmy, and everybody shows up and all that stuff. So
just flip the switch.
Maybe so, but I don't know. It's hard to be completely confident and be like, oh yeah, US is going to go and dominate and do these things, and they haven't shown that to me. Not yet.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I don't know.
One thing I know that a real difference, I was going to say that, I'm surprised, well, I guess they can't really take advantage of is there's no defensive 3 seconds in FIBA. So they could have two big guys stand in the middle of the lane and just prevent anything besides a 3-pointer going in.
Yeah,
but they don't really have height. They don't really, Bam blocks shots, Embiid blocks shots, and Davis does, but I don't know why they don't kind of implore something like that. I know they've been playing like a double, like two big men in there a lot to try to do something like that. But I don't know. I guess it just hadn't worked. So,
yeah. Well, the rest of the world's catching up. It's like these guys, like this team is just put together like an all-star team, and all these other countries have played together, since youth, and they play longer and have more experience. They just have way better chemistry. They're always like in that competition mode, that championship mode, let's all the time. And, each country probably has like a few good players that, but we have an all-star, if you took the top 10 in the Olympics, we'd probably have at least 6, 7 of the best players in the world.
Far, yeah.
Something like that.
So, yeah, but let's see what happens. And
I will say one thing, like to what T was saying about soccer, comparing it to that a little bit. I wish the U.S. was committed to soccer the way the world committed to basketball. The rest of the world committed to basketball. They got better, way better. And it took a little while, but I wish the U.S. would feel that way about soccer and get better like the rest of the world in soccer. So
I definitely know they're trying.
I don't know.
I definitely know. I know that's something they want to do clearly, and they see it. But we might have missed the boat on that one. It might take some time to get some kind of that kind of blood over here and rolling. So, but yes, I'm with you too though on that. It'd be nice to see. Which again, I know they're putting in an effort. I know there's things, but yeah, it's just night and day, like you said. I mean, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, if you watch our team play, it's not like it's like, oh, they look lost. But if you watch them compared to just like we were talking about the Euro Cup, it's like, wow, look at France go. I mean,
Yeah.
they take the ball and they touch it three or four
Yeah.
times maybe, and they're
Yeah. It's
down
like
they're
Spain,
down by the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Spain too.
Yeah.
So and
It's like they're so far ahead of us.
yeah, I just don't see us play. I don't see us playing like that, or we just haven't played like that. But
Or we
I
don't have the
mean,
talent to play like that.
that's the other thing.
That's the
I
main
don't,
thing.
and the chemistry too, like Sean just said, where everyone grows up together. Like those. I mean, at the end of the day, like some of those smaller countries, even whether it's an Olympic real game or it's one of those cups and stuff like that, they treat it like it's the most important thing in the world. And they
Yeah.
have, and some of these guys now, it's like it's embedded into them since they've been probably 2 years old, no matter if you're playing soccer, basketball, or whatever it may be. And we have some of that over here, but it's more football. It's a lot of that's football, say, than versus some of these
Yeah.
other sports. And basketball is like that too for us. But now that the world's evolved, into it, you just see more. It's more. You just see it more now. Soccer, I feel like we've just been. The train left us at the station, man. Like
Yeah.
we have some talent with talented guys. I think the MLS is great. It's fun. But again, where do you compare the MLS compared to the Euro Cup or the
Yeah.
Liga or anything like that? It's like
It's the minor leagues.
Yep, it's the
Well,
minor
and
leagues.
plus it's not all American players that are the best players on the
Yeah.
MLS teams too.
Yeah, it's all
So,
foreign players.
Yeah, 100%.
and our best U.S. players are playing overseas because
Yeah.
that's the only way they're going to get a fat contract.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
and gain that experience too of being over there and learning how club soccer and
Yeah.
not necessarily the European way. I guess you could say the European way, but just learning how they have different views and mindsets on the game than say even for me playing soccer when I was young and playing for a long time, I guess a long time, but a good almost a decade, or if not a decade. But it's like I think of it as like, man, these guys and all the passing and stuff, it's like we used to just get the ball and like, see somebody and we just, I think they're almost open. You just kick the ball down the field and then you run out, you do all that stuff. We were so unorganized. And you see the organized soccer now, and it's like it's kind of crazy. They actually run little plays.
They excel at the fundamentals.
They excel
at the
fundamental.
and that's all.
100%.
Yeah, ding, 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 ding,
Ding,
ding.
ding, ding.
I mean, it's like when you run the offense in basketball and the ball doesn't hit the ground.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You
Exactly.
make so it's just ding, ding, ding. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think maybe it's time to like change up the selection of the teams, maybe, because I know like a lot of these guys have NBA titles and have been on the Olympic team, more than once. So I think, each player should get like one chance at the Olympics, because it is only once every 4 years. So
Sure.
I think
Yeah.
that would add a little more drive to it, because not everybody wins an NBA title. But if you make the Olympic team, you're still, going to increase your.
Do they still do that program where they develop them from like after the Olympics? They commit to them for that 3.5 years or whatever. They play in the FIBA tournament and all the other tournaments for that amount of time, or do they still do that?
I'm not sure. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
They did do that. They did do that, and it improved
Yeah.
while they were doing that. When Coach K was a part of it, and you saw it improve a lot. So, but I will say this: live sports crowds from around the world are so much better than the U.S. I wish we could have crowds like that.
Yep.
I wish we could make that much noise and be that enthused about watching sports.
Yeah, I know what you
live.
mean. It's like I remember like during the World Cup and they show like one side of the country, right? But then there's still like 2 or 3 people just randomly through the crowds, and you just wonder if they're like, shit, I bought the wrong side of the stadium, and they're just stuck right in the middle of the chant and they have to hear it from all around them. And then, you think, okay, when their team does something good, and their
They'll
song comes
cheer.
on, they're the only one who's cheering, and then getting all these looks like "shut the hell
Right.
up," you know.
I know.
It's-
Besides the people breaking into that game, it was still like, you know, like the crowd was awesome, and I was like, the U.S. would never foot a crowd like that for a sporting event. You know, we would never get that loud, even for football. I wish
Sure.
we could. I mean, college, you come close, maybe, but you're talking chants throughout the whole entire game, 90 minutes to 2 hours of nothing but chanting, and it's awesome. You know,
Yeah,
I wish we could be like that.
Absolutely.
Now I will say and I haven't been to one yet here in Austin. But the Austin FC games,
FC, yeah,
from what I understand, it's live. Like it's loud in
we're
there.
going.
We're
Oh,
going.
definitely so.
Yes.
But like it's loud. It's action packed. They have like a drum, I guess a drum section and all that stuff to keep all those chants and things going on. But and
Not to keep everybody awake.
yeah, the only thing that
Like
stinks is
they're
I guess
good. Okay.
it'd be nice to be able to keep or be able to watch some of those games like local. You know what I mean? Since
Yeah,
we have all these apps and everything, it's tough to find like a local channel that would carry it. Every once in a while, I
yeah.
think I would catch it on like ESPN or maybe FS1, but I also don't see a lot of the MLS televised at times outside of just maybe a Messi game or a Messi team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know Austin FC. I know it's a loud good time, and they're a decent team. I heard they're trying to make a playoff run, or they're close to getting to the playoffs. But
Yeah.
again, we got a
There
lot
are
of
like
work.
5 or 6 people from San Angelo that have season tickets to
Oh wow,
Austin FC. That's how hardcore they are. They
yeah.
go to as many games as they can.
We have to.
Yeah. Yeah. So
To
they
get
drive
out of
from
the
San
house.
Angelo all the time.
To get out of the
Yeah.
house. Get some fresh air.
I'm down.
Get away from that town.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
Well, get away, you know. I have no comment as of yet. All right. Well,
don't
guys.
hate the town for sure.
I know. I better not, you know. It's kind of like, you know, we'll talk about that later. But anyways, let's move along.
I had to grow.
Let's
That's all it is.
Yeah, there
I
you
had to
go.
grow.
NFL guys, training camps have opened. Teams are reporting. Contracts are still being disputed, not signed, and some players are not reporting. Some pretty big names.
Yes.
How important is it to get into camp right away, guys?
Oh, I mean, for rookies and say fresh people or fresh newcomers to the NBA or NBA, sorry, NFL. I think it's really important. As far as like a CD Lamb that's not reporting right now, like I understand what he's doing, but at the end of the day, it's important for chemistry. Uh, I know Dak and CD have a good connection and things like that. But I think it's important to be there. I don't think it's like top thing where it's just like, oh, like why are you not here today? I mean, I understand what Lamb's doing. I mean, he wants his bag, and he's probably not gonna go out there and say risk injury at practice and stuff to and not get his money. And I get all that stuff, but I do think it's important. I really, really do, especially if you're say the Cowboys and you're all in trying to win a Super Bowl. Like you want your squad there, and you want your guys there from day one. And
Well, who else they got?
they don't. They're not going to win a Super Bowl. But
Zeke
reported, but he also got his his money. I feel like it's a trick. It's always a tricky thing with contracts and stuff like that. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know everything on that particular subject and how it works, but I do think it's very important for your top players to be there. And what it does is the longer it goes with him not being there, it just creates a distraction, and then it's going to create more drama. And maybe that's something that Jones gets off on, getting the exposure and things like that, which I know he does. But as far as the team itself, like you mean it's your number one receiver. Like if you don't have him, who else do you have? Like I don't I don't know who you're going to. I mean, the tight end's not terrible, but I don't know. I don't know.
I agree with T. Your players got to report. I don't know any time where I've said, "Oh, I'm glad he sat out so he could have such a better year." This year it never really works out most of the time, and I just
Le'Veon
feel
Bell.
like, yeah, exactly. Ask him. I think you gotta show up, man. Just nut it up and get out there and
Nut it up, huh? Come on, Lamb.
Yes, nut
Come
it
on, Lamb.
up.
Let's nut up. Let's go.
Is that any Dr. Pepper flavor?
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
How'd you know?
Nut up, nut up, nut up, nut up, nut up,
Nut
cream
up, Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
Yeah, get us to sing your jingle.
yeah. Goodness, man.
Oh man.
Can't believe
But
you
yeah,
want-
you got to get out there, man. You gotta be there for training camp. It's simple. It's freaking walkthroughs. I mean, I don't understand what advantage you're getting. You shouldn't get hurt during training camp. I hope. I hope nobody's gonna get a major injury through these first set of walkthroughs. I understand at the end of July they start getting a little bit heavier, but come on, man. It's just show up and do your thing. You'll get the contract. They're going to have to pay you eventually. When the season starts and you start sitting out games, that's when it matters. And they'll take care of you before then. So
right, yeah, and again, I do not disagree with you on any of that. I just with Lamb, what's this, his fourth year or fifth?
yeah,
fourth year.
This would be his fourth year.
Fourth year.
I mean, clearly he knows how camp goes. I mean, with his being in the league now for a few years and stuff like that. So it's I don't think it's that, but I do think it's important to get in there and start developing a rhythm. I mean, if think about this though, if he is, say, one of the only weapons they have, he's gonna get double covered all the time, or they're gonna some not all teams are gonna be able to stop him. There's no doubt. I'm not saying that, but there is going to be let's say the Niners, who they have trouble getting over the hump with, like the Niners are going to figure out a way to shut him down, at least do their best to do so, and they're going to force him into a different, say, option. And then who is it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, and I don't think Brandon Cooks, if he's still there, I don't think that's the answer. I don't know. I just think it's important. It's important for him to be there, just develop the rhythm, timing. I mean, also as being a leader, I think that would be a good thing. Is show these younger guys like, hey, yes, I want my bag, but at the same time, I'm not going to let that affect how we go about things, and I'm going to be here for my team and stuff like that. But again, it's a fine line with these guys, because it's not that the NFL. I don't think NFL owners and such like mess with players. But I don't think it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm looking into my contract. I'm kind of do some stuff. They're like, oh yeah, let's go, let's do. We'll get you all taken care of. I don't think they go about it that easy. It's all these little this and this. Cool, I'll give you this much money if you catch 85 passes this year and stuff like that, which is good for incentives and for the player itself to be motivated. But all those little things like that, I'm sure it kinks up just so much. So I don't know. I think he needs to be there, but again, I agree with you, Ron. You start missing games, you miss the first or second game of the year, or anything like that. I think that's definitely a huge issue. I think, especially
he's a caliber player where if you miss him, you are going to lose some games. He's going to be the reason you lose if he's not playing. So, I think they have to. They start realizing that. So, I think eventually you're going to get your money. He'll get paid.
He'll get paid.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think Dak stays? Because I don't
think he signs. I don't think he signs a deal.
I do not either.
Before the season starts.
I don't think he
signs
during.
A deal. I think he plays out.
Yeah, I think he plays it out.
I think it's really dependent on the season.
Yeah,
it really depends on the season to me.
I think that's what Jerry's waiting on. Is like he wants to see him win not only just a playoff game, but to perform well in the playoff game, and see if they can take him deep. Clearly, he wants a Super Bowl, NFC Championship. Like, I get all that, but I would start with let's start with step one. Let's win a playoff game. But I think that's what he's waiting for. And I think at the end of the day, there's going to be some teams out there that are going to offer him some money next year because it's not that he's a terrible quarterback. I don't think he's ever been a terrible quarterback. I think he just underperforms at crucial times. And it's not like he gets hurt all the time. He had that freak accident with his foot a couple years back.
Yeah.
But I think
that was Romo too, though. So they've
I mean-
dealt with it the last like 15 years.
well, sure, but
the
sure,
same
but,
kind of quarterback.
I'm sure, which I get.
Yeah, with
And-
Quincy
and-
Carter's sandwiched in there, as
Oh,
well.
don't even forget about the Brian Leaf. Man. Get on out of here on that. But
That's right.
I think. Well, I mean, I think a lot of NFL teams, like, I mean, you can literally name 15 teams that haven't had haven't had like an elite quarterback in how long?
Sure.
So I think so. It's like I'm not saying that he's elite. I'm also not saying that he's 20, under, top, I think he's top 15, but like how many somebody's gonna throw him a bag. We talked about this about Cousins and all that stuff, and I think a lot of it's negotiating and trying to go smart about it. And I think at the end of the day, I think Dak's gonna be a Raider. If not, there's a lot of people talking about him going to the Giants. So
no, please no.
Yep.
he won't go in the division.
No. And it's not like any slight or disrespect to Dak, because Dak's had really good, regular seasons, and the playoffs are hard. Lots of good quarterbacks have, even the great ones, Montana, Marino, they all have Elway. They all had slow starts to their playoff career, but
Sure.
I don't know. It's just you saw it last year in Green Bay when it had to be a shootout against Jordan Love, who was, like we've talked about, like was just on like an 8-9 game
because the defense played like from behind, like after like
I
10
think
minutes.
That,
but I mean,
okay.
well, I mean, even think about there he is. He's back. But
Okay.
You're back.
Yes.
Even think about like the fact that Jordan Love was that his second year or third? But
Third.
This is
starter,
first year
as a
starting.
Starter. Third year,
know?
first year as starter.
And I mean, the defense is as good as they were last year. Literally let a first time starter, first playoff start come in there and make you look
In
like
Dallas.
that. In Dallas,
Yeah, I know.
So no, not all the blame is on Dak. There's no doubt in that. But much like you were saying too, you put him into a shootout, and he just couldn't get it done. And I should say they, not necessarily him, even though a lot of the blame always falls on the quarterback. But I don't know. I don't see him staying there. I think Jerry appreciates him, but much like you said with the Romo situation, all the quarterbacks and all the years they've gone through, where they've basically been in the same position.
It's always been that good quarterback during the season, playoffs come or crucial times, they fail.
Where did I get cut off? Do you guys hear my rant about not wanting?
No, you got it. The last thing you said was a shootout with Jordan Love and Dak.
Oh, okay. Yep. So T was saying about Dak going to the Giants.
Yes.
And no, please, because and no disrespect to Dak. I don't know if this will be replayed. Anyways, but no, man, like the Giants have to go young. Like get that rookie quarterback and get the key positions, and that helps your star future quarterback develop faster. That's why, you're not going to see Drake May from New England at all this year. I would hope not. Let Jacoby Brissett take the bumps and then, slowly work him in. But some teams you can't, not like Caleb Williams, where the team sets you up pretty well to come in and succeed. But the Giants just have to hit the reset button at quarterback. I'm sorry, unless Daniel Jones just has the year of his life. But then again, it's almost like year to year with him from this point. And then it's just like watching Hard Knocks, they were ready to trade
committed
up.
to him. They committed to him, and they let Saquon walk. So they made their choice. Daniel Jones over Saquon.
Yep. So hey, at least we
chose the wrong one. Well, not wrong one, but
Spider-Man.
Tough call on that. But I'm with you on that, Sean, too. I honestly am. Because at the end of the day, like it wouldn't be say Jones isn't going to work out, and it's like, okay, cool. Well, draft a young quarterback, let him sit, and then maybe bring in a veteran, say like a Dak, to play for a season, maybe two. But at the end of the day, you're gonna end up breaking the bank to do so, and so that's where it doesn't make any sense to me to do that.
Yeah.
I think I could see the Raiders. Um, I don't know. That's the first team that pops in my head. If he
What
leaves
about
Dallas,
the Jets? What if Rodgers retires? Would Dak
Ooh,
go to
Yeah, I
the
was
Jets?
thinking the
I could
Jets
see
too.
I
That's
could
what
see
I was
that too.
thinking.
Yeah, I've heard some other people talk about that as well, but I could definitely
I've
see
heard a
that.
lot with the Dolphins. You
Oh,
know, they
really?
haven't paid Tua yet, and they haven't paid Tua yet. His
Hmm.
contract is up. Is it after this year or next year? So
I feel
I
like the
don't know.
Dolphins are in the
I
same
think he was
boat
on
though
his
as
last year.
I feel like the Dolphins would be in
Tua
the same.
Tua ain't won anything.
Nope.
Nope. But at the same time, I feel like the Dolphins are kind of in the same boat as the Cowboys. Like, how long has it been since they've had a really solid quarterback? Tua's been pretty good now for a couple of years, and I don't know. Like, do you go and drop if you're not going to pay Tua, but you're going to pay Dak? Like, how much of an upgrade is that? Like, I mean,
True.
I do think because he has more experience, it would be one. Maybe with the concussion stuff from Tua and all those other things too. That would be a concern. But
Yeah.
I don't see that being an upgrade, especially if you're gonna. I mean, I just don't know because Dak's gonna want money. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Clearly he does, and he's gonna. They're talking about north of $60 million a year. That's
Do you
crazy.
think if he fails in the playoffs again, like, is he going to really command that? I don't know.
I
If they
think that's
lose in
a
the first round,
I
you
think
know,
that's an absolutely great question, and I think that's something to think about. Honestly, I really, really do. I think that's something for. I mean, if you say like an organization, say like not, let's just say the Panthers, for example. I know they got Bryce Young, but it's like if you bring in a quarterback like Dak, and your goal is basically just to get to the playoffs and say win a game. Not saying that not everybody's goal is not to win the Super Bowl, but like I think you got to take some small steps. And if
right?
that's your the way of looking at it, then sure. But I just I don't know. I don't know. It's a mess, honestly.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it's
All
fine.
right, so let's shift teams. San Francisco dealing with a little contract disputes too. Trent Williams wants a new deal. One of the best left tackles in the league for sure. Surefire Hall of Famer, and but getting a little old, But then
Been
there's the
around for a minute.
Brandon Ayuk situation where he's requested a trade. But what do you guys think? Is Ayuk on the move? And who do you think might be some good suitors? And does this happen before the regular season starts?
Ooh,
Ayuk to the Raiders for Devontae Adams. Solves your
that
problem.
that's not gonna happen. That's so not gonna happen.
There you go.
No,
Hey,
Devontae's going to the
Devontae,
Jets.
I get it. He's great, and they talk about him receiver. Oh, you're one of the two best. Blah, blah. I get it. His stats sucked last year. And I get it.
Look
Hey,
who was
you could
throwing
say,
the ball to him.
Yeah,
hey,
you act like that was
receivers
Brady
perform
out there.
without the best quarterback sometime.
He still had
You know?
1,000 yards,
Sometimes.
and he just didn't score that many touchdowns. Plus, he got hurt, man. He banged up. So I don't
Yeah,
know. That's it.
it's a tough one. I don't. I mean, is Ayuk on Devontae's level? So to say. I mean,
No, I think the Niners would have to give up something else,
for sure.
a pick or something, the second round pick.
I
Going
don't
a
know. I
second.
mean, I guess that's not necessarily a bad thought to think about that. Um, I'm still gonna go with if the Raiders. I still think Devontae will get moved before the end of the season from the Raiders. I personally feel that way. Even though I know he
Yeah.
wants. I know we watched the receiver and stuff like that, and he talks about wanting to be there and things like that. But at the end of the day, you hear him say all the time how much he wants to get a ring. He wants a Super Bowl, and He knows his window's closing, and I think that's kind of where his mentality is. And so,
Is it happening with the Raiders this year?
no, that's what I'm trying to
Is
say.
Minshew magic going to happen with
That's what I'm trying to
Las
say.
Vegas?
I just don't see. I don't see Minshew and company beating the Chiefs. Let's just say that, or the Bengals.
Yeah.
I just don't see that. Well, a healthy Bengal
Or the
team.
Bills.
The
Or the
Bills,
Chargers, just in their division.
Chargers too.
They have. I mean,
So I
they're
don't-
what? Okay, Minshew or Bo Nix.
I take
Minshew for
I take
now.
Minshew for right now, just because of his experience, and he doesn't. He's not terrible.
No, he's great. I like Minshew, man. I think he's fantastic. He's definitely more well-paid Joshua Dobbs, and he actually
Yeah.
gets to stay in a place for a year.
Yeah.
And like Dobbs
Where
having
did-
moved 3 or 4 times.
It's like, where is Dobbs now? Is he still with Minnesota? I don't
Maybe.
think I don't think he
I don't know.
is.
He could be with Saskatchewan in the Canadian League at this point.
That's possible too.
That's crazy how much he was talked about and focused around for a few weeks last year, and now you don't even hear his name. He's just complete afterthought.
Dobbs
Yeah.
is with the Niners.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So he took over Sam Darnold's spot.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you got to pay Trent Williams too. I get it; he's older, but
You have to.
Man.
You do have to pay him.
dude's still performing like a top tackle, man.
Absolutely.
You gotta work something out where you say, look, we got to leave room. We can't sign you long term, but we can give you incentive laden.
Just give him a
and
ton
give him
of
a good
guaranteed
signing
money.
bonus.
Yeah, up front.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
take care of him. Kind of like
There
what
you
the
go.
Rams did with Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
as he
for
was
sure.
nearing the end.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm trying to think. Ayuk could go.
I can see him going to the Commanders just because he has that chemistry with Daniels from college, like I've said before.
Yeah, I see that. Maybe the
but-
Patriots. I keep thinking the Patriots.
The Patriots, I can kind of
'Cause
see that as well. Yeah, I could
Get
definitely
Drake
see that.
May an instant number one. Ayuk might not like it, but if you demand a trade, I don't think he's at the stature to where he could demand, I want to go here.
Right, I control
You
where
know,
he goes.
it's
Yeah,
they're
totally
gonna
get that.
they're gonna get the best deal for the team. And then that's just what the Niners need, more ammo to reload their already stacked roster.
What do you think his
Um,
value is then?
I think maybe you get a 1 and maybe like a 5 and a 7, or maybe 2 2s.
I was thinking
but-
2 twos.
I mean, that's just. I mean, okay, so let's just list. Let's see where's Ayuk in the top of the wide receivers. So Justin Jefferson, we agree, is the best in the league.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Then in no particular order, we'll just say
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase,
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill,
Yeah.
Devontae,
Yeah.
Amon St. Brown,
St. Brown.
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb,
I'd put Lamb.
AJ Brown. Garrett Wilson.
AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson.
Debo.
Okay, yeah, I would throw him.
Debo
up
had
there.
an awesome year last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, he gets
Would
a
you
lot of
take
the
Mike?
rushing.
Would you take Mike Evans or Ayuk?
Oh, Evans all day.
All day.
Okay, so that see, we're already at 10, and we haven't even listed Ayuk.
Yeah.
That's around where I have him. I would say about 12.
12.
What about Puka Nakua?
12, 15, something like that? I think.
I think Puka and Ayuk are kind of close.
I think they're. Yeah, I was gonna say they're on the same boat. They're on the same bike, whatever you want to call it.
Jalen Waddle or Ayuk?
Ayuk,
Same thing. I think it's the same thing on that too.
Olave or Ayuk.
I actually would go.
Ayuk.
I'd go at Ayuk on that one, even though I like
Oh,
Olave.
I'd go
I
Olave.
just- until Olave gets a quarterback, though, like can't really see him. We're not going to see his best. Not saying that Carr can't get it done, but Carr's clearly struggled the last couple of years, and so
Yeah, what the hell, man? Like ever since he had that year where he was going for MVP, and then he got hurt,
Yeah.
he had just never been the same. Never on that.
no.
And of course, my dumbass using a lot of fantasy stock with him. Going, oh yeah, he's gonna blow up in New Orleans.
Well, how would you? Well, I mean, clearly what he's done, it's like he kind of
He did blow up.
He definitely blew up. I
Too much
think
andouille.
Yeah.
I do think he'll have a better season than last year because I think a lot of the emotions carried over from the Raiders exit, and so whether that was a distraction for him or not, I just think that I don't know. I think now he's got a year under his belt with the Saints and kind of how they do things there. I think he'll be better. I really, really do. I think the Saints will be better, but but still, yeah, I do not know. I don't know how he took off. I didn't even realize he was even that good of a quarterback when he was having that MVP kind of year. And but I also think he had a whole team around him. I think that helps a lot, especially have a run game and he have. I guess he didn't necessarily have an outstanding receiver, but he had he ended up making it work. I don't know. I just do not know.
I mean, just like training
It's
camps are
confusing.
a day or two going, and it's just like look at all the storylines that are just already in the mix. Like, you got like from Dallas and their contract, because like all three of
Yeah.
those guys are going to want top of the market at their position money. So you want
Sure.
to talk about like being top heavy just at a few positions, it will not benefit them. But hey, I enjoy the implosion. You got your head coach is basically a lame duck. First 2 or 3 game losing streak. Jerry won't have any patience and he'll be out. So
Yep.
the disarray, if that could be a good season bet to place right there. Whatever Dallas's over under wins is, I would definitely take the under.
What do you give the Giants then as far as how far, if they're like 5-12, does Dayball return?
Yeah, because you always hear about like, of course, once again, this season depends on Daniel Jones and can he stay healthy, but you got that whole, well, we didn't draft him kind of thing. Like, give me a draft.
Are you a coach and can you coach anybody, or do you have to have your guys?
Sure. I mean,
okay. Then you gotta coach anybody.
Dayball whipped Josh Allen into the
sure, but
best.
he drafted him. He was there when he was drafted.
But I don't know.
I hate that when a coach says, I got to have my players. No, if you're a coach, you can coach anybody.
Well, for sure, yeah. But there's enough tape on Daniel Jones to know, okay, he's not special, and
right. So Daniel Jones is gone after this year if he has a bad year.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm not necessarily a Giants fan.
Cowboys trade Daniel Jones for Dak.
For this year, sure. I'll take a 1 year. I'll take a 1 year. Sure, why not?
Oh,
so
man.
You would take Dak over Daniel Jones right now?
Well, what do you want your beloved Cowboys to do then, Ryan?
Yeah, for real, Insider.
Like you're a Bucs fan. You have the heart for the Cowboys, which I
no.
It's
never.
Prove me wrong.
The Buck boys.
But they do have to they do have to sign Lamb and they do have to sign Parsons. You have to. You have to keep those two guys. So Dak's
is that your list? Like your order of how you would sign them?
Yeah,
Lamb, Parsons, then Dak.
That would be mine. That'd be mine too. Because I'm with Ryan on that. Because again, there's no way. You're not gonna find somebody like you're not gonna find another Parsons anytime soon. I don't see that. I just don't. Are you gonna will you find someone that's like, a few steps below him kind of thing? Sure, but after what your defense gave up in that playoff last year, I think that's a key piece to make sure you at least have that taken care of, and you build from there. But I'm not. It's so weird how it's like quarterback's one of the most, if not the most important position in the game. Yet it seems that it's like, okay, Dax has chance. All right, next. And it's like, okay, well, what's next for them then? Like who? I mean, are they going to go? Who? I don't know. I guess I guess there's some players in college, Sanders and a few others that are come out that are being looked at, but I mean, I don't know. I would definitely, but I think you need a number one receiver. You need a beast like Parsons, and I think you need Dak, but at the same time, I think you can part ways with him and replace him with somebody that would do some good, but also free up all that money to say go get a running back and go get other
No.
little players to fill in holes and make more strength or strength
Strumpf.
strength. They make it a lot stronger to the overall
Detlef?
team. But yeah,
Detlef
Detlef
Shrimp?
Shrimp. Yep. Supersonics.
Super definitely reminded me of NBC basketball right there.
Right
Hearing
there,
that name.
especially in BC basketball.
Looked like Gael from Street Fighter.
But yeah, I don't know. They're a hot mess though. That's for sure.
Only 6 more Sundays until
Yes.
NFL.
Okay. So real quick
43 days.
before
43 days,
we
boys.
changed. Yes, that's the number. I love that.
43 days.
I love that.
One
means-
month till college. Week
We'll
0.
all be week 1 together. So
Yes.
that'll be a fun podcast. But
For
okay,
sure.
real quick, T, what are your expectations? And we'll have our season preview coming, in a few weeks here soon. But T, biggest want to sees, have to sees for your Manders. Quick season outlook for your teams.
I would like to see the defense be 120% better. And then I would like to see consistency at the end of the day. That I don't expect them to go far. I think this is definitely a building year, much like they probably have been for the last 30 or so. But but I don't know. I feel like they did a pretty good job as far as the draft. I do like Daniels. I think he's going to be exciting. We still have some good scary Terry still out there. We still got some players, got some quality running backs. I just think the defense they looked so. I mean, it's embarrassing to see last year. I mean, that's just flat out embarrassing. And so I think to get that taken care of, and that's what Quinn does as far as his mindset. And so, expectation wise, I don't know. I can see them being somewhere around 500 or an 8-9, maybe a 9-8 team, maybe.
Better
I think-
record than Dallas?
I would say no right now, just based on if, let's say, Lamb's there and playing and stuff like that because of the weapons, or I guess because of the chemistry that Dak and I mean, there's not a CeeDee Lamb on the Commandos. There's just not. But I don't know. I think I think certain teams and philosophies from coaches, schemes. I think it's like if you have certain players, it's we can even bring this into say NCAA football or Madden. It's like you start somewhere and you're just like, okay, well, I don't like this guy because this dude's speed is say 81, so he's not that fast. Well, I'm gonna go get this fast dude over here and I'm gonna build him up and do these things because it's kind of what I want to do as far as my team. And I think if you can utilize those players for what you have with your schemes, then I think you can possibly have a better record than the Cowboys. Yes, but I think the Cowboys will. I don't know. I don't think the Manders are going to be great by any way, shape, or form. That's a tough call because if the Cowboys happen to get off to a slow start, it's the NFL. You never know on any given week. So someone gets hurt, one of your main guys or something like that. You have a bad game, and all of a sudden you start going downhill. But yeah, I don't see the Mandos having a better record than the Cowboys.
Hey, Dan Quinn's great with defenses, just not in the postseason, So we'll see.
Well, see, there you go again.
I mean, he's great during the season, but
there you go again. Just gotta take your shots. Cowboy fan.
I'm,
Oh, goodness.
hey, I'm taking a shot at the Cowboy.
I know you're taking a shot at both people. BOF.
Capital.
But I mean, I get it.
Uh,
Again, I don't have high expectations for the team. At the end of the day, I just want to see them be a better organization. That's all it is. I'm not going to come over here and be like, oh, they're making the playoffs and they're Daniels is the future and this. I'm not going to say all that. Let's let time. Let's get on the field. Let's let my eyes and our eyes look and see what's going to happen. Enough of the trends and the analytics and all the other BS that comes with it. Like, just put the dudes on the field. Let's see if they have any kind of chemistry, can go do anything. So that's right, Cat. Cat agrees with me.
hey,
You go, Cat.
Hey, gato.
Hi, Paul. You go, Cat. But yeah,
Wow.
I mean, that's like, at the end of the day, you're gonna be. I cannot wait for you to be so disappointed in your Cowboys whenever they just do not do very well. And I can already hear you. Well, Dak's doing this. No, he's top five. In this. Well, good.
Hey, if
Well,
I'm
good.
gonna be a Cowboys fan, I have to have the excuses for it too, right?
Well, I mean, did you guys see the
We have
fan
those.
poll? Did you guys see the fan poll that they did with Cowboys fans? And
No.
like Dak got
Mm-mm.
a huge amount of votes over everybody else for being the most overrated Cowboys player.
Oh wow.
And they
See?
I don't
actually,
get it.
the
Just like,
Cowboys fans said like 78, almost 79% of the Cowboys fans said they don't think the Cowboys will reach the Super Bowl in the next 5 years.
Damn.
So
what have they been
even
saying
the
for the last
fans.
30? Like, what are the fans been saying for the last 30s? I'm not trying to hate on the Cowboys, and in fact, like I feel for them. I mean, as more talent and I guess just not necessarily being I don't know, with just them being the Cowboys, like you figure they would have done a lot better by now. I mean, I kind of, as much as I hate to say it, I thought they would have already won a Super Bowl by now. That's just nice, 96 or whatever that was, but they just haven't, and it's crazy to me. It's kind of crazy. So I feel for their fans. Like every year you get all this hype up, and it's like, oh man, our team looks pretty good. And then, even like last year, their defense was great, and you have to feel like, like, oh wow, we actually have a shot at this. And then you show up in the playoff game and you give up, was it 40? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I've come to terms with the Mandos that it's, as long as you have no high hopes or expectations of anything, then if you happen to go and to make the playoffs, you feel pretty good about yourself. And if they lose, you're like, hey, we got to the playoffs. Oh man, your team sucks. This and this and this. Well, your team's at home right now, so whenever y'all thought you were going to win the Super Bowl this year, so again, low expectations. I think be excited for your team, and I think for football and stuff like that overall, but you gotta keep them pretty low. If not, you're gonna be disappointed. Much like my fantasy teams, every single year, I'm like, oh yeah, I had a great draft. I think it's gonna be awesome, and then
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and then it's
Falls
like,
apart.
I should have taken this guy. Why did I take him over this guy? Oh, that's right, because I'm an idiot. So
No. See what happens too. Also, you get the your draft report card from whatever site you do the draft, and they give you
Yahoo.
an A+, and you're like, yeah, undefeated, and you lose 3 straight to start the season.
I haven't got anything higher than a C+, much like I guess in high school, in years. So I think the one year I got a A- or something on my draft. I think I got second to dead last. So yeah,
Yeah. The grades don't mean shit.
nope.
Yeah.
Means
Well,
nothing.
Ryan, why don't you tell us about your second favorite team? Bucks.
Well, as the only one here with a playoff team last year, and a team that won the Super Bowl in the last 5 years,
Well, those wagons must be rolling right next to each other, so you just hop back and
we got
forth.
4. We got 4. So been to 5.
True. No, I will say this. I do like.
You also
I was
needed
glad the
Brady to do
Bucks
so.
re-signed.
Sorry.
Well,
Hey, when in Rome.
You would have taken Brady on the Manders to win one too, wouldn't you?
I would have taken him on the Giants. Instantly. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? Wow.
True.
Yeah.
So,
No, I was glad they re-signed Baker. They re-signed Evans. Got that locked up. I like their offense. They upgraded a few positions on their line. They drafted that center Graham Barton. He's probably going to be starting. Dude's looked great so far. So I'm happy with that. I want him to improve on last year, and it's a lot of what T said. Play better defense and be consistent. They had a few games where they weren't clicking. I think adding Jordan Whitehead, getting him back as a safety, I think we got one of the best safety tandems with him and Winfield. Behind the ball, I think that'll be great for him. I get it. We lost Carlton Davis. He was kind of done. We did lose. I'm forgetting his name now. Linebacker that went to the Eagles, Devin
White.
Oh well, yeah, Devin White, lost him.
Devin Booker?
So I already forgot him. Yeah,
Right. Move along.
Right. But yeah, I think the additions we've made, we stayed pretty consistent. I would like to see him go 10-7, at least improve a game or two, maybe 11-6 over last year's 9-8. So I think we're in a winnable division. It's probably only going to take 9, 10, 11 wins to take that division because, but the Falcons have improved obviously pretty greatly. I do think the Saints could have a little bit of a bounce back. I mean, the Panthers are the Panthers, so not really worried about them. But I think the Falcons and Saints are going to be competitive. So, and a lot better than they were last year. So it'll be a little tougher, but I think they can win it. I think they still have the talent to. Let's just see what Todd Bowles can do, because to me, that's the only thing I feel like he kind of gets them to that point. He's like the Cowboys of head coaches. He gets them to the playoffs, but then he can't really win. And I get it. They had a huge win over the Eagles. It was awesome, but and I thought they played pretty competitive against the Lions. So it was actually a really good game in Detroit, but we'll see. I'm hoping 10 or 11 wins for the team. I think they made some improvements, got younger, so we'll see.
I do think the Bucs are in a good spot. I agree with you on that. I think they're a pretty solid squad. They're going to build off a lot of what was last year too, when none of us thought that they were. I mean, not that we didn't think. I think maybe I gave them a shot at winning a playoff game last year.
Even I didn't think they would.
But
even I didn't think they would. So
I mean, it's good to see, and I think they've done some really good things out there, and I definitely do not hate the Bucs at all. So yeah, it'll be fun to see. I do think the Falcons are probably your biggest competition in that division, which is kind of obvious, not necessarily saying the Saints can't be there, but it's like after seeing what we saw last year, it's like I definitely would put Cousins ahead of Carr. So, but I think I don't know. I think the Bucs have a chance, especially with Evans coming back, because I think that was huge. I think that was like we were talking about the other night through text and everything. I thought that was absolutely huge that Baker easily could have been like, I had this season, I did this, I want this number,
right?
And instead he found a way where it's a good number for him. At the same time, he knew he needed Evans. Like if you let Evans walk, then who are you throwing the ball? I'm not saying that Godwin isn't good or anything like that, but like Evans, man, he's a beast. He's one of those guys you can literally just throw up a ball, and it's like he has probably a 75, if not 80% chance of coming down with that thing. So
sure,
I thought that was really smart. I really, really thought that was smart.
Well, we get to find out week 1 because guess who plays? Manders at Bucks.
I see.
Week 1.
You already throwing darts.
Yes. So that means I get to sit between you guys.
What's that? What? Somehow, my locks don't work on my door, and they're stuck. So therefore, Sean has a key, but Ryan doesn't. So, oh goodness,
damn!
What are we gonna do?
We'll eat
That's gonna be so much fun. God,
Can't wait. Unbelievable.
Yes.
I cannot wait to. I mean, I just cannot wait to be around you guys, and then for us to go to a Green Day and Rancid, and then also with opening weekend of football too. Like, oh man,
Yes.
it's
It's
awesome.
gonna be awesome.
Man, and just imagine too if Michigan was coming to Austin for that
I know. Oh
two
man.
matchup. You know,
I just wish the game was at night and not at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, Jason
That's what I wish.
I think
Jason
that's
was
when
telling
I'm
me
going to
some
be
numbers
landing.
for some of those ticket prices for those games. It's like wow,
Yeah.
wow. Especially
Oh,
now
He's a
that-
big UT fan, right?
He's a big UT fan. Yeah, he's taking his mother to he's trying to figure out a game that he's going to take her to. But he's like, man, now that they're in the SEC, things are a lot different. It's just a different thing. It's
a lot
like
more
wow,
expensive.
man, more expensive.
They're not the big fish in the little pond anymore.
Nope. But yeah, that would be cool.
I mean,
as
I
much
can't
as
wait.
much as I guess I'm not necessarily I don't hate the horns. I'm just not the biggest fan. I'm not a diehard fan. I do like Michigan. I've always used Michigan on NCAA football, at times and things like that. But that would be cool to go to. That would be absolutely. If that was going on while we were here or while you guys were here, that would be so sweet.
Yeah,
man, that'd be epic. Be more epic than it's already gonna be. But man,
no doubt, I'd be wearing my Woodson jersey.
That's sweet.
You're gonna have mustard on it too when someone throws a hot throat missile at you.
Hey, well,
come on!
It would blend right in.
I'm kidding.
Austin has all the hippies. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah, right. I mean, not this Austin now. you go back 10, maybe 15 years ago. It's a lot more hippie-fied, but I don't know. They're tough to find these days.
So, Sean, what do you expect from the Giants this year?
I don't even know. We've talked about this. They let their best offensive player go. You guys, have said they chose Daniel Jones over Saquon. Oh, I don't. Realistically, 6-7 wins, maybe. I mean,
so they won't make the playoffs.
No. And I think they finished last in the division. Honestly,
what's the order in the division to you?
Eagles, Cowboys, Skins, and Giants.
I mean, and see, you don't even know about Philly, and Philly's loaded. I mean, one of the best rosters, but what's the deal with Sirianni? Is he going to be there after this year? Will he make it through the year?
Are they going to finish first, though?
I think so. And I don't know. See, it's a toss-up between the Cowboys and the Manders for me. I think the Manders could be a little sneaky good. But
I do like Jaden Daniels for sure.
Well, I mean, he's got a ton of college starts. So, everybody's talking about Bo Nix starting in Denver with a lot of he's had, over 60 starts. Daniels has a ton of starts as well. So, at two different schools. So I think, we'll see.
I hope Daniels runs out of bounds more, though, and not try, like this ain't college, you got to run out of bounds and save your body.
Yeah, there's no doubt that. That's something. I said this last year about Lamar too. Is like learn how to get out of bounds or get down and not get hurt.
He did a lot more too. If
he did.
You notice.
He definitely did.
And he got paid. So
yeah.
And he got paid.
Well, speaking of college football, guys, as you know, the new if it's gone away for a while, can you call it new or reborn?
Yeah, reborn.
The rebirth, the return of college football. For all us gaming nerds, has returned, and sorry guys, I am the only one who's able to play, Mister. I'm the only one who made the playoffs.
So you're the gaming expert.
Mister, I'm the only one.
Oh man, I'm the one who made. I'm highfalutin. Sorry.
High flute. Oh wow!
I'm highfalutin.
What you do after you nut up?
Yeah, that's after you nut up.
Yeah, nut up. Let's go. Nut.
You
You and your
highfalutin.
You and your flavored sodas and Dr. Peppers and oh my goodness for that stuff, man.
I would go and put like 3 cloves of garlic in a Dr. Pepper and try it.
Why?
Wouldn't you?
No.
Flavor.
Roasted or just straight from the clove?
Probably roasted, probably be a little bit better, but
Don't forget the salt and pepper. That you did.
yes.
What are you doing over there? I'm seasoning my Dr. Pepper. Back off. Like, get out of here on that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand. Like I said all along, I think there's certain creations and things that can go together. But like, I don't need mayo. I don't need that crap in my soda. I just don't. So,
Yeah.
baking grease, Dr. Pepper. Get out of here on that stuff, man.
Yeah, I don't even want
Or
to.
Mountain Dew, whichever one it was. Like, oh man.
Yeah, I don't
Sometimes
know.
I
But
go
the
for
game is
sometimes
back.
the game is
Yeah.
back.
The game is back. It is smooth. It is sweet. I haven't gotten
is it?
online to play anybody yet, but
Yeah.
I'm still trying to remember how to, get
Are
back
the rosters
in the groove.
pretty accurate too?
Yeah, I'd say. And you got the recruiting, which is really cool. You get to show the interest from each recruit, and you could offer scholarships and stuff like that. But different modes with doing the My Player. Like I told you guys, you could get recruited by a school and work your coach trust up and get, recruited by them, and then eventually start, but you only play that role. But it's great.
How's the soundtrack?
Well, I mean,
Did
it's
they get
all
real music or the college?
it's just a
fight songs?
college. So I mean, but it's great. Like the Michigan intro is when the players run onto the field and jump and touch the Go Blue banner. It's really, really cool. But did you guys see that 2.2 million people
Yep.
paid the extra
Yes, they did.
$30 to get the
Yeah.
game 3
Crazy.
days earlier? So they
Yep.
basically made $60 million off of 3 days.
Yeah.
EA did. So
Crazy.
I did not. I got a free trial. So I wasn't going to. I went for the limited edition, and I used my bonus points for playing to get a couple gift cards to lower the price. But well worth it. It's
smart.
really hard. So, all right.
Yeah, look forward to playing it. Once I can upgrade from my Atari.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be able to be able to play it.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think that I've had that Xbox for as long as I have. Like it works fine. It looks fine, but yeah, I don't know. I just never. I mean, clearly I knew I wanted to get a newer system and all that, but yeah, it's kind of I guess it stinks that I can't play it on there. But at the same time, I do understand that I'm sure graphic wise and just other things, it's just more compatible with these newer systems. But that's kind of a bummer, though. I mean, yeah, kind of forced into now to.
I'll make sure and bring my Xbox down so we can play. But yeah, I can't wait to get into the college football playoff. And just I think it's gonna be really cool with all the changing of the conferences.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be a
we
lot of
need
fun.
to make sure we'll do a college football preview where we are going to predict the college football playoff, which is just going to be really insane.
Yes.
Man,
but real quick,
it's gonna hurt so bad after that. That's
too
much thinking for this guy.
For sure. Well, thinking of people whose heads probably hurt. Rory. The Open, guys, wrapped up with Xander taking home the first place. What are your thoughts on the whole tournament? I thought it was a really good tournament.
Oh,
Tough.
It's my favorite one. It's my favorite one. It's my favorite one. It's my favorite one. And it's my favorite one because of what we saw. Like you don't know what's gonna blow in off the coast, so you don't know if the winds are gonna be riled up. Which you have to think most likely that the winds are gonna be howling, but you don't know when the rain's gonna hit. You don't know when the cooler weather and all that stuff comes in. So it definitely changes how far the ball flies, and same thing with the rain. But I don't know. I feel like Xander definitely he was impressive. Like on the hardest day out there, he's the one that made a move, and I think that that and that back nine on Sunday, I think that was the difference in it. I think that's where he, I mean, basically won the tournament. He won on Saturday afternoon, and then he won late Sunday. But Rory, I don't know. Like it's one of those things that I think he's such a good player, and I think I've said this before. I think some of these golfers, they try to do too much. Like you're trying to a wind that's blowing 25 miles an hour across the fairway from left to right, and you're trying to play a draw into that to do all these things. It's like I don't know what the other option would be with me playing golf. It's like, cool, the wind's blowing this way. I'm gonna hit it over here. I'm gonna hopefully land in the middle of the green or something, or put it on the green, right? I don't see why you can't just take that kind of approach and be really good at those shots, and then basically minus or limit your mistakes, because he goes for one of these big draws or whatever it may be, and he mishits it, and now he's over here in the bowl, or he's in a bunker that he shouldn't be in, or it's and even from like even his wedges, it's like he's got a wedge and you think like, oh, he's gonna stick this one, and then he just doesn't. It's a bad shot, and I'm not saying that all golfers hit good shots, but or every shot's gonna be great, but I don't know. I was just it was somewhat disappointing as much as I was rooting for him just to have a bounce back, but I know Ryan's shorts are all tight because he didn't have a chance to go and leave the
No.
media. So
Darn, Rory didn't talk to him. Come on.
I'm sure he talked to him, but I'm sure you're happy about that versus him
No,
not doing
I'm
so.
not. I'd like to see him succeed. I would. I don't wish ill will on anybody like y'all do the Cowboys.
I don't wish ill will on him.
I was just kind of born into that.
But yeah,
Even though I was
mean,
born in Texas.
Yeah, it was a good tournament. A lot of guys were competitive on that Sunday. It showed, the highlights I saw, man. I didn't get to watch a lot of it live, but man, it looked like a hell of a course, and man, like I like that it's in like some tiny ass town. It's pretty cool. It's like some podunk little town, and that's just really cool that they get to have a freaking major tournament and probably have more players and media and fans there than the town's ever had.
It's
population
really
wise.
I think it's really
So
neat.
it's cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
I think it's really neat.
Yeah, man. I mean, Xander, congrats to the dude. He played his butt off, man, on Sunday, and just consistent and congrats to him, man. Hell of a win for him.
Yeah, he's solid. That dude is becoming a really good golfer.
Yeah,
there were several golfers up there that like I'm pretty sure a couple of those guys are from the DP World Tour. But that's kind of the beauty. That's the beauty of the Open, is that you get some of these guys. None of us have ever heard of, say, Brown or the other guy that was up there for a little bit, or at the end there. I can't remember his name. Sorry, but you just it's like you're kind of looking at like, well, who's this dude that's 500, that's 2 shots off the lead, and when you have all Scotty and just start naming people off, and they're struggling as bad as they are, but these guys are doing good. I think it's some of that DP World Tour. It's like when they play that European or those links style. I mean, he's got a lot of experience on him. Those guys carry a lot of experience on them, and I don't know. It's a fun tournament because you don't really know like who's gonna have that run. I think in other tournaments it's kind of like with Scotty playing well, it's like, okay, he's gonna be up there. So and so's playing well, cool, he's gonna be up there. But I don't know. I feel like with the Open, it's just kind of anybody's game.
Yeah, Justin Rose played pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
He had a shot too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of pulling for him, honestly. The older man, it's like, get in there, because he hasn't won an Open, right?
I don't think he's won an Open, but we're older than him, I think.
We are, but not by much.
I don't know. I would love to play that course, but I mean, like we were talking about our football teams a second ago with low expectations. That's how I'm walking into playing golf on that course.
Yeah,
I just want to make it, So I would be totally okay with it. I would be totally okay with it because just that experience would be unbelievable. And you know, some courses suit other golfers better than others, and I don't know. We'll just have to wait to see if Rory can win one on the next. Yes, that. Yeah, could you imagine having to hit out of that brush, like you know, because you got to play it as it lies, and you're trying to hit that golf ball out of that thick brush, man. That like got to take a beating on your wrists. Yeah, you don't really work out for that kind of wrist action, but
Yeah, I bet, right?
Nut up, Ryan. Let's go.
Nut up. Let's nut.
well, I was going to play Rory and walk away with no comment.
Go play Rory and walk away. Well, don't get on BDA bad list, man. That's for sure.
Right?
BDA's gonna tear you up, man.
BDA's got heavy wrist action. Trust me.
Oh boy.
He's got strong wrists.
I was
That'll be for another time.
I was kind of wondering what was holding that wig and the hair and all that stuff into place. So now I know. Put a little bit of Dr. Pepper in here real quick and fix me up.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think tonight I'm going to go peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, man.
All right, one last quick thought. We saw the All-Star game and the home run. What are you guys' thoughts on how the new format of the home run derby went?
I liked it. It was good.
That was cool.
I mean, it's just not how it used to be, which we say that, but and I know we're kind of redundant on saying those things, but I like the fact that it's not so. I like it for the players. It's not so wear and tear on them. Like they have you get 40 pitches or you get the time, and I like that because
3 minutes.
You know, again, you go at your own pace, and yeah, I think I enjoy it. The home run derby is just great. It's fun to watch. Is it something where it's like, you know, am I glued to the TV? No, but once people start getting into a rhythm and things like that, it's like, oh man, this is kind of cool. But I always will enjoy it. I've enjoyed it since I've been a wee little boy, and yeah, I mean it was fun. And All-Star game was okay. Once Otani hit that home run, it was like okay. And then after that, it just everything got real slow again. So I guess part of that's maybe on the pitching and doing well or whichever. But you know, it is what it is, right? It's just it's cool to see all those guys on one team. Those uniforms are freaking terrible though, and I just don't know. I don't know why they don't go back to wearing say those during like the home run derby and everything, and just regular uniforms.
Their regular uniforms. I miss that.
Yeah, me too.
I miss that.
So,
totally agree with that.
It was still fun though. Nonetheless, it was absolutely still fun.
Yeah, derby was cool. I liked it. All-Star game, I kind of flipped through. It wasn't the most exciting. I wasn't like staying glued to the TV for the whole night, but you know, I would check back on it every once in a while. So, you know, more looking forward to next year in Atlanta when we get to go. So,
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we get to.
No doubt.
Yes.
No doubt. Yeah, I liked it. I like the new format, but do you really think they need to have the 40 pitches or 3 minutes? Because some batters never even like finished using all their swings, and I think that's kind of important in a derby to have all your swings. You know,
I would go back to just the 10 out method.
Yeah,
I like that. 10 outs.
I like the 10 outs. Yeah, I definitely like that method a lot better. I understand that they're trying to keep up with like I guess what they're doing with baseball and speed everything up and not try to drag everything out. But it's their celebration. So it's like why not drag out some of that stuff? You know, like I mean, what else is on? Like there's nothing else on the home run derby on a Monday. Well, sure you're gonna watch some of your local stuff, but like there's nothing else really on. So why not drag it out for 3-4 hours or whatever it may be, and hopefully it's a good entertaining show. But I do like the 10 outs though. I mean, I like this format better than the other one. But yeah, I mean, simplify it as much as you can, but stop trying to speed the thing up. Like, especially during your celebration. The sport itself, I get, but not during the celebration.
Yeah.
I like
I
the
agree.
I kind of like the 40 pitches, and if you like take a pitch, it doesn't count against your pitch count. If you want them to have the home runs, then give them all the pitches they can handle. But I don't know. But I think we should wrap this 1-year anniversary show up, as we have covered quite a bit tonight, gentlemen, to start season
Yes.
2. So once again, congratulations to us.
Yes.
We made it a year. Let's go. Thanks, everybody,
Yes.
for helping
We
out and
appreciate it.
listening and supporting us.
We love you guys.
Season 2, yes.
Here comes
We got a
season
lot
2.
coming up. And some newer twists, I guess, maybe on how it's presented coming up soon, too. So
You will have to
But
listen to us.
Season 2, we will
Yes.
not be any
To
more
find out.
normal. That is for sure. We will.
Yeah.
We will
No.
definitely
We'll
bring.
always-
we will definitely
we'll stay
bring someone
somewhat.
in. We will bring someone into play.
Yeah,
True.
I think that's just almost by default, naturally. But
Absolutely.
guys, love you. It's been so much
too.
fun. But
Yes.
Love you guys
Ryan,
too.
start season 2, episode 1, with how you
Yes.
tell your story on how to find us.
Yes. You can find the Real Tree Shakers show on Facebook, on TikTok, on X/Twitter, whatever you would like to call it, on Instagram. You may also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on iHeart, on Podbean, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Please like, please subscribe, please comment, please rate. We enjoy it all. We love the shares. We love people following our page, and we appreciate you all.
Yes, we do.
Yep. Yes,
And remember,
definitely.
folks, just nut up and get yourself a Dr. Pepper.
Yep, that's a season 2 trend now.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I did write it down and put quotation
Season-
marks around
season
it.
There you go.
So,
The nut up.
uh-oh.
Nut up.
What are we in store for? But, guys, love doing this.
Yes.
Like we always say, it is our favorite night of the week. And I can't wait for season 2. It's going to be awesome. But thanks for
Yes.
listening. We had a blast.
Yes.
Wow, we'll be back. So much more to talk about. But thanks for listening. This has been the Real Tree Shaker Show. Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.